Hello, BookTube. Cheers. It is Tuesday. It's a Tuesday evening. Things have been a little hectic around here. I won't go into all the details, but these are the times we live in. This is a book haul, and it's a mail haul. And normally, it's from Steve Donahue and Frida Bean. And normally I get a heads up when something's on the way. And normally I open the package on screen. But we have to do it a little different this time. For a week I've been looking, I don't know if it's that many days, but an ever-present white box in front of my neighbor across the street's house. And their car's in the driveway, and I'm like, well, why aren't they picking up their package? Maybe they don't see it. They use the back door. I don't think they're there. And my wife got locked out of the house tonight, so she walked over, because I said, Steve said there was a package on the way, and he was a little shocked it didn't arrive. And the packages from Hyde Cottage get here fairly quickly. And the ones going the other direction do too. We've never really had a problem. And so while she's waiting for me to come back from the store and let her in the house because she had the wrong set of keys, she walked over. She was going to knock and say, hey, you know, we're watching for a package. We know she hadn't picked this one up, but nobody's there. And she looked at the package, and sure enough, it's from Steve and Frida Bean. It has been sitting out in the weather. So, worried, because Steve knows what I like to read, and I hate the idea of books getting destroyed. I opened it up off camera and sent him a quick email saying, hey, we found this. It's been outdoors. We've even had rain. The box looks a little poofy, which is a bad sign. It's one of those priority boxes which are really nice, but they're not designed to sit out in the weather. So with trepidation, I opened the box, and everything is fine. The books are in great shape, and boy, what a selection. I was very excited when I opened them. I'm not going to go all drama on you. It just wouldn't work anyway. You wouldn't believe me. But I am very excited by them. Very excited. What a great selection of books. And with Steve, he listens, even when you don't think he's listening. And he pays attention, and he's got the touch. He knows exactly what I'm looking for, when I'm looking for it. Two of them, well, they're all fantastic. So two of them I didn't realize he knew I was searching for, which is sort of something, because they're not things you would normally pick up or you would normally think of. And I have been looking for them, and I'm thinking, where am I ever going to find these in Vermont, right? And you never know. So because we have a big event coming up here pretty soon with short science fiction stories, he sent me this Critical Mass, which is by Frederick Pohl and C.M. Kornbluth, with introductions, notes, and afterwards by Frederick Pohl. Nice mass market paperback. I've been piling up on these a little bit lately, mainly because of Steve, but also found some of my own lately. So this, as an introduction, has the Quaker Canon, Mute and Glorious Tam, The World of Myron Flowers, The Gift of Garagoli, A Gentle Dying, A Hint of Henbane, The Meeting, The Engineer, Nightmare with Zeppelins, Critical Mass, and then an afterword by Frederick Pohl. So the Quaker Canyon came out in 1961, when this whole paperback came out in 1977. So a wonderful thing. Fits right into a project that Steve's also doing. And the Bookish Bryants and Scott Daniels and I think Sean Stanfast. I'm not sure. I have to check. There's a whole list of folks who are doing this, and I think it's in November if I remember right. And I'll do a video about it again once we get ready, but it'll be short stories, science fiction short stories. Now I'm going to put these two aside. Next one, Steve got one of Kenneth Roberts' writing books the other day that I'm a big Kenneth Roberts fan. I don't know how I didn't know about that book. I've got most of his major novels, or all of them, and I've got I Wanted to Write, which is another one of his writing books. But another one of his volumes is Trending into Maine. And he got me this lovely copy with the dust jacket, unbelievable. Has the illustrations by N.C. Wyeth. Here's the end papers, beautiful thing. I'm a Vermonter. I was born in Vermont. I did go to junior high in Maine. And I've lived probably, out of my 60 years, I've probably lived 20 of them in Maine, maybe a little more. I'm not sure. I'd have to do the math. Absolutely love Maine. Love, love, love Maine. Love the people, love the coast, love the deep woods, love the mountains, love everything, and the islands, everything about Maine. I think just wonderful place. So this is Boston, Little Brown Company, 1938, and look at this artwork, of course, it's fantastic. The writing's fantastic, but to have a Wyeth edition is special. So I saw this. This is a reprint from 1938. It was actually reprinted 3 times in 1938. He was an immensely popular author, great historical fiction writer. If you love historical fiction, Kenneth Roberts is the way to go. But he wrote some great nonfiction, too. Got a little wacky with the, well, maybe not. Some people believe it. But with the water dowsing, with the stick, the Y-shaped stick, and all that. That was really big when I was young here in New England. I don't hear about it much anymore. I'm sure it's around. But he was really into it. Arnold's March to Quebec, magnificent picture. Kenneth Roberts did a whole compilation of diaries and journals and dispatches from Arnold's March to Quebec. I have. It's wonderful. So this is much appreciated. A real gap in my, I don't know what happened to my old one. I never had it with the dust jacket, so I'm glad to have this. But my old one's gone, so he may have noticed that when he was perusing the shelves. This next one is an author I really like. The only one of his I also have is the Brendan Voyage. I've read most of these and really like this guy. Tim Severin, he died a few years ago. Those of you who remember Jason Harrigan's channel, he did a wonderful, Jason Harrigan's from Ireland, as was Tim Severin. And Jason met him when, I think Jason was in high school. He can leave a comment and correct me if he watches this, but I believe so. And he told that story on his channel, and it really impressed me because I would love to have met this guy. And if I understand correctly, and I haven't read any of them, he did some historical fiction towards the end of his career, or maybe earlier, I don't know. There he is on the voyage. Try to leave these up on. It's a beautiful volume. So this came out in, and any Timothy Severin is going to throw me. It's 1994. The China Voyage is an extraordinary story of how Tim Severin and his crew made maritime history by sailing across the Pacific on a bamboo raft. Their purpose is to test the theory that Asian raft sailors reached America some 2,000 years ago. Their experience provided armchair adventurers with one of the most remarkable sea voyages ever and offers a unique perspective on what happens when historical theories are literally put to the test. And of course, we know about similar type voyages, and I'll have to look into this more to see what makes it different. It certainly looks different, the vessel. Kon-Tiki, the Raw expeditions, all these sorts of things, these historical. When I was a student, they call it experimental archaeology, which I think is appropriate. So Tim Severin, happy for that. Then here, with a Star Trek-y image on it, I've never seen this before. This is SciFi Chronicles, a visual history of the galaxy's greatest science fiction, with a foreword by Stephen Baxter. And we have a wonderful looking ship there. This is really sort of cool. Firefly Books, general editor is Guy Haley. Look at that. When did this come out? This came out in 2014. This thing's a feast for the eyes already. I've just started opening it. Pretty excited about this. There's a lot of movie images. I'll spend hours going through this. Just hours. I started watching Foundation. What is it, Apple TV? I forgot what it was. Whatever it was, I had to sign up for that streaming service to get it. I watched the first episode. I thought it started a little slow. Maybe there's no way around that. It did pick up steam towards the end. So I'll probably watch this. I will watch the second episode. I think it's already out, and then go from there. Jury's still out a little bit. The actress especially seemed really good. And I don't know her name. Like I say, I've only watched one episode, but we'll see how it goes. So these next two sort of caught me by surprise, because I've been talking back and forth to Sean D. Standfast and saying, well, I haven't run into these, and he has them. And it's something that really, really interests me, and interests Steve, and interests a bunch of us. And they showed up. I have never seen them until I saw Sean Standfast hold them up. I'm thrilled with them, and they're the history of the science fiction magazine, edited by Michael Ashley. This is part 1, 1926 to 1935. I am so excited to have these. Unbelievable. Hardback. New English Library. How he found this, I have no idea. Copyright's 1974. Got a preface by Mike Ashley, introduction and amazing experiment. So just a soup to nuts history of something I love, science fiction magazines. And obviously has illustrations. So there's that one. Look at that cover. Yeah, I got to hold the cover up for a couple seconds here. And then this next one here. What a cover on this one. This is the same thing, but part 2, A History of the Science Fiction Magazine, edited by Mike Ashley. I just am just floored that he found these. This is, again, New English Library. Here, let me hold it up for you. And this one is 1975. So it has introduction to SF Bandwagon, Circle Zero by Stanley Weinbaum, Seeker of Tomorrow by Eric Frank Russell and Leslie Johnson. You got Jack Williamson, William F. Temple, Neil R. Jones, A.W. Lowndes, Donald A. Walheim, which is Daw Books, Robert Bloch, John Russell Fern, Maury Leinster. You have an appendix, checklist of authors' work, 36 to 45. Summary of the magazine issues, glossary of magazine editors, note on key cover artists, which is really cool, and bibliography. So, yeah, this one has illustrations too. Let me just pop to a section so you get an idea. I am really excited to have these. Thought I was really, well, I hadn't found them, and obviously Steve did. So, a box that was in danger the whole time it was out there. I mean, it seems like it's a white box. It's sitting on their step. And I walked by, I thought, well, I wonder if I should tell them that their stuff's going to get ruined, but they must not be home. So, we got SciFi Chronicles with a lot of great movie still images. The great Tim Severin, the late Tim Severin, China Voyage. The legendary Kenneth Roberts with Trending in the Main, a book about a place I love by an author I love with N.C. Wyatt art. You can't beat that. Let me do this one for. Then, Science Fiction Magazine, The History of the Science Fiction Magazine, edited by Michael Ashley. Part 1 is 1926 to 1935. And then Part 2 is 36 to 45. Thrilled to have all of these. Thank you, Steve. These are survivors They survived the elements, and I'm thrilled. So so Steve and Frida Bean, thank you. BookTube, thank you. I'm going to go sit down and read a little bit. So have a good one.